Now, as a Christian, you learn that God gives everybody a vision and a purpose in life, right?
Yep.
And even if you're not a Christian, most people feel like they have something to accomplish, and they're like they want to achieve something, right? So let's say you've been doing that for a while, you've been doing it for a long time. You get married, and then let's say 5 years into your marriage, your wife is like, yeah, this ain't working out. Let's say you're trying to be a rapper, and she's like, yeah, you shouldn't be rapping no more, boo. You need to shut that down. And she just dogs everything you do now. What do you do with that? How do you handle that? Do you give it up? Do you move on to something else? Or you be like, forget you and keep doing it? What we did first, we asked this to Facebook, and we got Lauren Amati here to read some of the comments straight off of Facebook first.
All right, we got 2 opposing views here. So the question was, if your spouse told you they no longer believed in your dream, would that deter you from pursuing it? So one person said, nope, I would just divorce her sorry behind and get a new wife who's more supportive. Thank goodness for that prenup. So that's one view, just being honest.
You can't do that as a Christian.
All right, and the other view we have is, nope, not at all. What that would do is make me pray to find out where the disconnect is and what is causing the disconnect. Seeking God before I make a move is the only way. I would be disappointed with the lack of support, but I also know that God has a plan for every situation that comes.
I really think you need to know when y'all start dating, when y'all on a dating season. Before marriage, you got to know that. You got to know it.
Yeah, but what if they like, oh yeah, I love your rhymes. Your rhymes are
and then when you get married, they eject your CD to let you know, like okay.
Frisbee?
Yeah.
Wow, I don't know, man. That's a hard one. That's a very hard one.
Yeah.
I mean, and this is in the context of rapping, but it
that's
could
anything.
It could be
it could
whatever
be.
you're dealing with.
Yeah.
What y'all think? We got some more people in the room. What if Script, recording artist Script, we got chilling with us today?
Yeah.
We may let him freestyle later.
You know what
Drop
I'm saying?
a beat.
What if you got married and she was like, yeah, this whole artistry thing, kill that.
Well, that's actually an easy decision for me because on to the next one. I mean,
are you married?
I'm married.
Yeah, you married.
Okay,
You're
so
not like your girl.
right,
That's not your girlfriend.
On to the next one. Yeah, let's just get that divorce done.
We can't do divorce. We can't do divorce. So I don't know, man. I think that she would just have to come into the knowledge that this is really what God wants me to do.
Or she's like, no, it's not.
Yo.
we start a little fake argument. And he getting hot. Like what? I mean,
nah, because then, all right. Well, then I might just have to
okay.
exercise
Now I understand
my
Chris
authority.
Brown a little bit.
Wow,
short. I mean, that's what people were saying. It was like, oh, you don't know. She could be crazy.
Nah, I don't.
Like you can't dance. He was like, what? I'm sorry.
Go stolen steps. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
She could dance. All right, go ahead.
Nah, I mean, I think there'll be some kind of level of, I don't want to say compromise, but I'm gonna do what I gotta do, regardless.
I mean, I think part of why we got a big reaction on Facebook was because that's like one of the biggest things you want out of somebody you're with is to support your vision and to believe in you and to encourage you to do what you think is real.
Yeah.
But what if they honestly, you ask them like, hey, do you think I'm doing a good job? And they're like, no, I think you suck. Yeah. I mean, what should they do? Should they lie and be like, no, yeah, keep doing that when they know you stink?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think it's there in the beginning. To be honest with you, it's there in the beginning. That's why it's like, if you know in the beginning, the person knows in the beginning when they're dating that person, if they don't like their stuff from the jump. There's no way you could be with somebody and you could be like, you go, I think for some people it's like, you show me this, and if it's not good, it is what it is from the jump. So that's what I'm saying.
But let's take this out of performance, like business, whatever you're doing, whatever it is you're passionate about. Say you both start off big dreams, big goals. 10 years down the road, it's not happening, and your spouse is saying to you, I think you need to give this up because it's not working.
The pursuit of happiness.
Ooh, see that?
Yeah.
That's a good.
But
That's a good one. But she left him.
Yeah, that's what we saying.
No, but I mean, she didn't.
She gave up on him.
She gave up on
the
him,
same
but
thing.
she bounced. It wasn't
But
like
he
it wasn't
had
like
to-
no. It wasn't no ultimatum of like you stay with me.
Yeah, but he
And
had to
this
deal with
happens.
a lot of fussing for a long time before she bounced.
Yeah.
It's not like she just up and said, you know what, this ain't working. She was
She
She
probably
kind of
like, yo,
did
dude,
though. She did. She did kind of. She
It's
just
implied that
she kind of was like when he was like, man, you weak. I knew you wouldn't. I knew you wouldn't last. You weak, like finger in her face, everything. So it's like he didn't know that was happening. She was just tired of their living situation.
Yeah, but I
she
think
wasn't
she
tired
was
of his dream.
I think you could tell that she had been complaining for a little while.
Yeah, you
It wasn't
could.
just like all of a sudden.
And what would you do if she didn't leave? Like, what if she stayed there and constantly told you every day, stop doing this. This is not working. You need to do something else. Badgering you
I got too
every
much pressure in the
day,
room.
but not leaving. I mean, anybody.
'cause
I'm
your girl
asking
ain't-
to anybody.
Speak freely. She need to know.
She already knows. We discussed this already. But I mean, I don't know. I think the thing is, I think I would have to look at it. But I think it's a difference between knowing you're called to do it and knowing that you want to do it. Kind of like what Script said. Like he's like, I know I'm called to do this. Some people, it's like it's a hobby, so I'm gonna try it, and if it works, I'm thinking it may pop, it may not. So it's like, what do you do from there? Like do you? That's when it gets to a point when you could be like, okay, I don't need to do this no more. I need to do X, Y, Z.
All right, what the family that prays. Y'all saw that? Same situation where like he's like a construction. He had a dream to own his own business, own construction company or whatever, but he just wasn't working.
Yeah.
And she just checked out. Like after a while, she was like, money ain't coming. I'm doing my own thing.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people have to deal with this. Like you know,
that's
you
true,
you doing your thing and it's not working the way you thought it would, and she just gets tired of it.
Yeah, I think that's why I was like, yo, I think you could. I really believe in the signs. Like I really believe in you can see stuff from people when your dreams is whatever it is. You can see those things. You can see when somebody is down or somebody's not down.
Man,
I really believe that.
I'm gonna ask Maya this because I remember when we were doing the Christian Guys Aren't Sexy bit. One thing that the Christian woman said that was important was that you have to see that the man is growing towards something. There's potential and he has a drive. What if he has that drive and the car don't go nowhere? Like, what do you do?
No, prayer is key. But no, let me just piggyback off of something that Jeremiah was saying real quick. In the beginning, it's important. But I emphasize the fact that that's the benefit of being a Christian and having the Holy Spirit reside on the inside of you, because he or she could be saying all the right things, and making it look and sound real nice, but you have to know that that this person has your back before you enter into a covenant with them, because that's what is going to have to stay and stick, when you're in a marriage situation, And then to answer your question, it could look bleak for a minute, but if you know that you got to get on your face and ask God to give you the motivation when you don't have it, when you can't conjure it up, And I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying that, it's going to be a walk in the park. But if then that same thing that drew you to that person, that purpose, that calling is what's going to have to keep you, regardless of how hard it gets.
Well, talk to the stress of it. Let's go back to Pursuit of Happiness and the woman in that situation. He's selling these medical devices that he thought was going to pop and it's just not popping. And he doesn't see that it's not working. He ain't listening to you like, this ain't working.
And I think the marriage situation is different because you're still accountable for taking care of that spouse and or your children. So if it's not working, okay, in the meanwhile or in addition to, which means you got to get your grind on twice as much, you still need to be bringing in income. You still need to be grinding. So I could support and believe in your dreams all day long, but if it's not putting food in our mouths, then okay, there needs to be a hustle about you regardless. If you need to have a day gig and an evening gig, but in the marriage situation,
I think that's where the tension comes, because you may be seeing it that way. Like, I'm not saying that you need to give up. I'm just saying you need to bring some money in this house. But from the guy's point of view, he may be like, she don't believe that this is the thing I need to focus on. And I think I know for me, when I took off from work for like a year after I graduated to start up J-Dot, which included the Trackstarz and everything, that you see us doing now, Freedom Music Group and Destinations and whatnot. And I didn't have any money coming in that whole year, pretty much. And I just remember God telling me, and this may be for all the, especially the guys. I can't speak for women that have dreams that their men don't believe in, but for the guys that have dreams that your wife may be like giving you pressure to bring in some income or whatever, and you're like, this is my dream though, I got to focus on it. I think what God told me, and this kind of came through Dave Ramsey with the whole Financial Peace University. No matter what you believe God told you to do, if you owe people money, you got to pay them back. I mean, that's it. I mean, God is not going to call you to not work to pursue some dream that you think he wants you to do, and you owe people money. Like, you got to figure out a way to pay people back that you owe. So if that's your motive, like he was like, so if you want to keep doing the thing you're doing, pick up a pizza route on the weekends. Like, you got to work, like what Maya said, you got to work twice as hard if you really want to pursue your dream, but you have to do the basics. But I think the way it comes across, probably primarily for men, is any sort of doubt in your ability to achieve your dream really hurts your confidence. It really hurts your pride. Yeah. It hurts everything you're about, because you're like, no, I'm almost there. I could do this. And you like, we not eating on Wednesdays. You know what I mean? Like, you need to do something else, you know? So I think that.
But doesn't that take sacrifice? Doesn't dreams take sacrifice? I knew it took sacrifice for me. You're taking money that you really don't have.
But this is the thing. You when you put the ring on it, I think this is the problem. When you sign up to be that husband, father,
you provide.
You have another layer of responsibility. That's what God says. If you're single, you can just focus all your attention on me. But if you're married, now you have to split your attention, because you have to take care of both. And you can't ignore that other commitment just because you're swearing that you're following God. Like, you signed up to have dual commitments. You have to take care of both of them. So I think the question is kind of layered, because if my wife told me, you know, this whole media thing, you believe God told you that you had the ability to help change the world for God through media, and she was like, yeah, I don't think you can do it, that would be hard. But if she was like, it's not working and we hungry, that's a different thing. Like, that's where you're like, okay, she may be frustrated right now, and I need to take care of my business, and then I can go back to doing what I feel God wanted me to do.
And to add to that, like, I know you were talking about how, you know, not having support from your spouse or whatever really like is a jab to your confidence level. On the flip end, for women, provision is key in a marital state. Like, that's one of the primary things that they look to their husband for. So the moment that becomes threatened, the moment that, you know, they start feeling unstable, you know, or like they don't have the security that they had hoped for in a marriage.
Yeah. But what if she needed fast?
Oh, bro, you're going to have a hard time.
No, I'm just saying, like, what if consecration is needed to trust God? Is that no, I'm serious. Is that a serious question? Like,
yeah, but you may need to be the one starving. They have to be eating.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't just come home and tell the family they're fasting because you didn't go to the store.
Thanks, Kermit. We love that. We love that noise.
I'm not doing line for line.
We're not doing line for line.
Oh, well, I'm not saying anything else.
You can say something else, man.
Hurt his pride, man.
I ain't hurt his pride.
His
pride was
voice,
already
his voice
hurt.
is his ministry. You know what I'm saying? That's his.
Sounding like
thing.
Mr. Burns.
You acting like it's, you know, what he's afraid of in this bit right here.
Yeah, because we asked you that. We was like, did we ask you that about wife? Like, if wifey said, all right, this ain't working no more, it's time to go.
I mean, you talking about the Trackstarz?
Yeah.
Yeah, we talking. Go ahead.
I mean, you're talking about the Trackstarz. I think it's an understanding that, you know, this is something that that I do, you know, Monday through Sunday, but I still have, you know, the ability, a 9 to 5, right? And so, you know, now I think I'll give you a perfect example. Y'all know I like to work on stuff, build stuff, whatever, just experiment on my house, break stuff, whatever you want to call it. And if I were to go in tomorrow and tell her, like, okay, I'm quitting my job because I'm going to start building houses with my dad, she's going to look at me like, nah, that's not going to work.
Gotcha.
So I think that's kind of where you got to come from, is you got to be smart about it. You know, if you know it's something that God didn't call you to, but you just really like doing it, don't use that as an excuse to do it. You know what I mean? Like, God will God will really, show His face on that one.
Now, real quick, do you think if a person does that and they just say, "Okay, I'm not doing it no more," does that
Is God
affect
gonna
them?
be mad at him?
Yeah, will God be upset with him? Like, God,
Not necessarily,
No.
because God may have called you in that arena for another purpose. He may ask you to write, or produce beats, and you may be better at that than delivering lyrical content.
I will say this: like, if you do get married, I believe God put that other half or the other person in your life to be a good monitor for yourself. Like, they can see your weaknesses, they can see your strength, and you may need to listen to what they're saying. They may not be saying this is not your ministry, but maybe the way you're doing it is not the best. You see what I'm saying? So I wouldn't ignore that half of it. Like, your spouse is a valuable resource to you, and you need to listen because she knows you the best.
yeah,
And if they're saying like, okay, I know you like making beats, but the snare ain't landing on the right note, like the right part of the beat. It clashes with, you know what I mean? Like, if she knows that much about it and she's like, you're just not good at it, listen to her. Like, either get better at it or trust her.
Paul from heaven, like, you should have been singing. That's so foolish. Go ahead, what you said.
So what happens if, you find out this after you get married? Like, seriously, they just go through and they lie to you.
That's the one we've been talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but I'm saying, like,
Don't get married to them if you know before that they don't.
If you know that,
no,
man.
I'm saying, like, you know how people decide that they don't want to be married to a certain person anymore. Like, their spirit just completely changes.
Yeah,
How do you deal with that? Like, I mean,
That's a whole nother problem, homie.
Yeah, it is. I think you just gotta be like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you know that from the jump, that the person you with is critical about what you're trying to do and what God's put in your heart to do, even if it doesn't turn out the way you want it to be, I don't think you need to date
I think
them.
their attitude needs to be this: I believe in your vision. I believe I'm gonna follow it, man or woman. Because if a woman has a dream and a vision and the man doesn't believe in it, that's not good either.
Yeah.
Like, just because you're a man doesn't mean she got to drop everything she's doing and do whatever you're doing. So if they don't believe in what you're saying that you want to do with your life, then you really have to back up, because that's going to get worse. You know what I mean? And you just got to decide, like, okay, I think this should be the outlook. Just from being a guy, just this is what I would want from my wife, is to say, okay, no matter how this turns out, I'm here for you. Not, oh, this better work out. You see what I'm saying? I wouldn't want her to have that attitude. I want her to have, I'm going to help him go as far as God will take him. Even if it don't pop, it ain't a big success, I'm still going to help him do it.
Gotcha.
And when we figure out that it's not that big of a success, I'm going to wait till he gets it and then move with him. I think that should be your attitude. So it's not like this big pressure that a guy has to change the whole world when God only really called him to change his neighborhood. You know what I mean?